good morning, YouTube. As that you guys will bear with me. I'm in a new truck. My mount might not stick. I got it on there. It might not stick. So in the middle of my driving, it might fall off. So we're gonna bear with it. Um, Good morning, Hot Pepper. What's going on, buddy? Um, we're gonna get back into the swing of things. I missed the load yesterday doing all this other stuff. uh, but it's okay because originally I got up early to get everything done. I was moved into the truck and then, but they were taking their sweet time, so that's why I didn't I didn't make it. You know what I mean? But I'm still trying to get used to this behemoth. I'm in a Kenworth, and this sucker's huge. This sucker's huge. I've driven Kenworths before, but this puppy, it's been a while. Excuse me for 1 second. Throw my garbage out. Try to be a little clean. Try. Oh, well, no winter's coming because I'm up in Ohio and this puppy's cool. It's kind of cool out here. But so let me explain about my new truck, my new old truck. Well, this guy is a it's a different color than the normal company truck, so that means that an old million miler was driving this truck. What I mean, it means someone that's done 1 million miles for this company has driven this truck. So this is what I get to look forward to in about maybe a year and a half, 2 years when I hit my 1 million miles. Because I get to pick my truck. I get to pick the truck, the model, and the color, which I think is going to be pretty cool. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Uh, I'm going to turn on duty. Going to start our pre-trip. I was going to wait, but then what happens is if I wait, I'm gonna wind up right in the middle of rush hour, and I got to get past a certain spot. So I might as well get up and go early. How's everybody doing this morning? Uh, Trying to get used to this transition. I mean, it happens. It used to happen all the time, but trying to get used to this transition into a different vehicle, transition into the change in the weather changes. Um, Sometimes this can be a little depressing. Um, my situation at home is a little depressing. Um, I got to keep that cryptic because it might be I might be listening to I'm stalked by the person I'm in love with, LOL. But it is what it is. And you guys just see how look the guy turned into the parking lot and they didn't pull all the way in. See, this these non-driving freaking people that I have to deal with on a freaking daily basis. I'm like, geez, dude, really? Let's see here. While I'm talking, let's go ahead and punch in the address and go ahead and start. And let's see, Cincinnati. This is a new spot that I had to go to this morning. It it's a weird a weird spot. It's right past the underpass, and I got to make a sharp right. And you know, I drove by it because I intentionally drove by it because I wanted to see if they were open, and they had a gate closed. So if I would have pulled up in there, I'd have been stuck. I wouldn't be able to back up. You got to remember, I'm driving this big behemoth. I wanted to be able to back up, and then I would have been screwed. So now I know I can pull in there and wait for them to open up this morning. Um, I had a little revelation yesterday. And what I mean by revelation, I did a short video on it about um, replacing the fence line in the back of my home. I don't own it. It's owned by my neighbor behind me, Mickey, older white gentleman, really nice guy. He has always went out of his way to say hello, um, to have conversations. That picture, uh, the thumbnail was the original picture of what that fence line used to look like. It doesn't have all those vines on there anymore. When we first moved in, those vines, uh, they're very intrusive. They're all over my yard, under the dirt and whatever. Those vines are very intrusive, and the mosquitoes, they would hover. Someone told me they hover under low lying leaves and stuff. Man, it was like horrible trying to just come out of my backyard, and in I mean these just tore us up. And when I first moved in, I didn't have all of my equipment that I had. I had a broke up lawnmower, and I just would get out there and I cut everything. I didn't give a flip. And I guess he started feeling bad, and he started, cutting down the vines. And then I started working with them, and we would talk. And really, really nice guy, elderly gentleman. And the fence line is decimated from years of neglect and not getting it back up. And I had asked him if it was all right if I could, replace it. I wasn't telling him to replace it, and he wanted the specific. They're called Gothic. It's a Gothic picket fence, and in Georgia they only sell it at 4 feet. They don't sell those anymore, and you know that was. I've been struggling, looking and looking, looking and looking and looking. Um, I even tried to get a regular fence post and cut it myself and carve it, and I did like 3, 4 pieces. It was hard as heck, and I gave up. But I've always been looking because guys, you know me, I'll go Home Depot or walk in these different areas of the country. If it's close to me, I'll go and I'll walk and make a video and be geeking out over parts and stuff like that. Well, I found the pieces of fence that's needed to replace this guy's fence, and I intentionally did not go into this looking for it for him. I mean, honestly, I was just looking because if I fix that fence, it's going to make my backyard look better. It might actually make all of the crabgrass and everything else look worse, but I think it's a good start. And me, in all my videos, I've gone overboard and put everything on a credit card. No, I've got a revelation to stop doing all that and go a little bit at a time where I can afford it. And if possible, use my debit card and not put it all on credit, because my credit card is the percentage is high, and it just dawned on me that I'm doing this the hard way. I'm gonna do bits and pieces of this. I'm really in the north where I can find a Menards, but I'm gonna be out on the lookout now that maybe once a month, if I can find one, get in there with the truck, go in the back, get about 20 or 30 pieces, put it in the truck, and bring them home. Um, and the reason I'm thinking like this, the reason that I'm doing like this is this man. When I met him, he's of that age. He's like 70, 80. He's of that age that you would expect people to look down on you as a neighbor, as an African American, to look down on you. And the guy never did. The guy was the nicest guy you ever. He's the nicest guy you ever met. That's I told him, look, you ever need that, you let me know. I'll help you. You know, when we first moved in, we had an elderly black couple on the right of side of us. Never said a word. Never said hello. Never greeted us. Never said a daggone thing to us until it was time to move. Then they were giving away stuff, and my wife snatched. I'm like, I don't want none of they junk. And then on the left of us, we had an Asian couple that never spoke, never did nothing. Looked down, I'd say hello and looked at me like I was on crack or something. Now we have, a mixed family to the right and Dominicans to the left, and I keep them apprised of what I'm doing. If I'm coming, you have something to make their side of the yard look better. I'm telling them, giving them the heads up, the whole 9 yards, being respectful and not looking down on anyone. Um, that's why I got excited about this fence line because I want to do something for the guy. And I know he's going to ask me, well, how, can I, I'll pay you. No, you know, give me a 6 pack of beer or twisted tea or a 6 pack of twisted tea or something. Well, so I can numb up my body so I can do the work and be done with it because you're nice, good folks. He's very nice. Asked about the wife, and I mean, I like people like that, and it makes you want to do it. And he's an elderly gentleman. He's like 70s, mid 70s. Something. He can barely walk, but he's trying. I look, bro. I'm going. There's a piece of the fence line. Once I repair it, I'm gonna put a gate right there. I'm gonna put a double fence gate, so I can come in his yard and cut some of his stuff for him. You know what I'm saying? Because and the reason I'm putting a gate there is there is a sewer cap on the middle of our line, a yard that they got to come once a year, and they came a few months ago and ripped the dilapidating fence and just left it leaning there. What a piece of crap! Just left leaning there. Didn't put it back. They just ripped it apart. That's not my fault. You got to get in there once a year. I didn't build this fence, but you need to put it back the way it was. Now it's even worse. So, what I'm gonna do is next. I'm going through the house next week. I'm gonna take these fence posts. Put them in the garage. Um, the wood, and I'm gonna replace the other wood. I got enough to do one small section, and I'm gonna put new posts in the ground. I'm gonna dig up the other ones, new posts in the ground, cement them in. New wood to put these planks onto. Make it look really nice. And I'm not just gonna let it sit like that. I'm gonna find a clear sealer to seal this wood and not have it touch the ground so the termites can get to it or whatever. Do it real nice, be dedicated, do it the right way so it will look like something and be something to say, one, thank you for being a good neighbor, and two, doing the right thing. We don't help our elderly, we don't help each other. Everything is a fight. Everything is a freaking fight. Man against woman, black against white, rich. Well, yeah, it's always gonna be rich against poor because rich don't want the poor to get out of their situation. But everything is a freaking fight. Why can't we? In the '80s, why can't we just get along? You know what I'm saying? Everything is a fight. and it's beyond me. Um, and everybody wants everything. Look, you don't have to accept me, but you need to respect me. If you notice in some of our YouTube circles or YouTube, how do we say it? These YouTube streets, and you make a left corner on one of these dead end streets, you notice in certain circles we're not respected. Some of us are not respected. We're like outcasts or whatever. And you know what? I could give a flying rat's patootie. I'm trying to be polite. I don't want to be cussing and screaming. But I show respect. If I can't show respect, then I'm done. I'm leaving. It's just funny. It's like certain people say stuff that is is wanted to be said. It needs to be said, and it was said. Y'all are boring. Some of us are boring. I try not to be, but some days I know I am. I'll be like, yo, that was like the worst live I've ever freaking did. But I got to keep going because, again, I found my everybody like, well, why are you doing this? No, this is my slot. This is my place. This is where I get to hone my hey, good morning, good morning. I get to hone my, my craft and figure this situation out. But see, I get excited about because I got to wait on, fixing my lawn. I'm hoping I laid some perennial ryegrass down, and then it dropped. In the temp went up, and I'm hoping that ryegrass is still okay because if I start getting rain, it's going to come up, and I can have some green grass during the winter. But I'm moving my because I got so many things going on. I'm moving my eyesight. I think when I next time I hit a Home Depot, I'm gonna get a notebook. Good morning, good morning. I'm gonna get a notebook and write some of this stuff down. But again, you know, if you say anything about anybody or anything, um, I say this: um, selfishness, self-centeredness is running rampant. It's not about being nice. It's not about being polite. It's about being comfortable with yourself, and that's it. And that kind of brings me to the subject that we're going to talk about today. Um, I seen on a TV show this question was asked, and it kind of sort of got me to thinking um, that this person literally got up there. Oh, hold on, guys. Let me. I think it's time to do my little paperwork. Just give me 1 second. I keep on forgetting these daggone numbers. Pocket two, pocket oh, 52734. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. Called being old. Oh, I'll tell you about that story too. Hold on 1 second. Ah, dang it. Okay, I gotta do my get on the computer here. Just start inspection. Pre-trip. Nah, bam. Miles. Okay. 374 785. Check, done. 527 4. Continue. Done. Okay. Now I get back to what I was saying. All right. The person asked. The person asked, "Can you be married and have two separate households?" Now, let's premise this situation. The and it seems to be, and I'm trying not to attack, but y'all, some of our sisters, you know, y'all actually think like this, and I hate to say it, but this woman actually believed. Yeah, we could agree to disagree. She believed what she was saying. I love this man, but I don't want to live in the same household with him. He can come and visit, but then you got to go home. But then I'm confused. You know, I well let's use the Bible as one. You should leave your mother and father and cleave unto as one, become one person, one body, one soul, and then you live together. And they say, well, yeah, you need to live together so you know what you're dealing with, and so forth and so on. Well, why is it that we do such or say such a thing, and then we can't live with each other? And I'm not saying we. A lot of times it's y'all because you don't know how to make the right decision to choose the right person. And you and maybe I'm saying this because of past hurt, yes, but you don't choose the right person. You already know he ain't shit. You know he won't be shit. You know he's a piece of crap. You know he's a piece of crap, but you want to be with him. You know he don't pay no bills. And you know the last time y'all went out, he made you pay every daggone bill. You know he doesn't have no money. He don't want to work. He don't want to do. But I love him. Okay, the first thing is make right, better decisions. And I'm saying that because I was choosing women superficially by looks, but their inside was horrific. Their insides were horrible. Their insides were pathetic. They were evil. They were mean. They were downright cantankerous. They were just not nice people. And I had to realize after I got my heart ripped out for the 1 millionth time, and I said, you know what? Enough's enough. I'm effing up. I'm choosing these idiots, and I'm choosing to let them walk all over me, and I'm choosing to let them get away with talking to me any old way, and I'm choosing to let them think that they're getting away with it because, oh, please love me. Please care about me. But then you know what you do, and I realize this, and this comes from straight up experience. Straight up experience. When you get with a woman that's been alone for for been by herself for a good minute, that's the hardest person to live with, be with, cohabitate with, to even come and visit. I gave you an example. There is a set of towels in every black woman's home in the bathroom, and I'm gonna give you a good example of this. If you walk into a bathroom that's well decorated, it's usually the first one that's coming out. You walk in that bathroom and you see a roll of paper towels, but then you see, little washcloths that are hanging on all nicely decorated. Don't put your hands on that them washcloths. That's for decoration. Don't use that soap. Look for the pump or whatever, because you are messing up the situation in this woman's house. If you see coasters, don't you better ask, can do I need to put my whatever? You better ask. See, because a woman, especially a woman that's been by herself, that has been, and I get it through. Yeah, you made a whole lot of choices. You're finally been, you're paying your own bill. You're doing all this, and you get aggravated by the slightest thing. The slightest thing. What do you mean by the slightest thing? You left, really? People don't want to let me over. You left the daggone, you didn't put the cup in the sink. Oh my God, you didn't put the cup in the sink. You got to get out of here. I'm not even, you ain't staying with me. Or you left the toilet seat up. Oh, you ain't staying with me. What's the matter with you? And you're looking for anything and everything to give you a reason to. Oh no, I need to be alone. No, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna freaking work. And I've heard it on other people's lives. As soon as I get with him, he want to move in. It seems like in this day and age, yes, you got some that they just looking for a place to stay. Let's just be honest with you. But in this day and age, a lot of men they looking, and then you got some that are looking for what do you call it? They're looking for booty calls. But at my age, yo, you better be lucky you get one good hit. So what? I'm not. I'm saving that for the person I love. That's between you and me. But you're looking for any and every excuse to stay alone. I prefer to be alone. I've heard online. Yeah, and you got this big mama jama. You big as a house, but you think you Halle Berry. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be mean, because look, I fight with being fat too. But you big as you obese, but you up on somebody's live talking me. Yeah, he want to move in with me. Well, why does he want to move in with you? Why does he want to move in with you, Halle Berry? Nah, nah, nah. You need to have your own. If I have my own, I ain't gonna be with you. Y'all need to think about that. Oh no, no. He like me for me. Really? You ever be in one of these country towns where you see the skinny Negro, and he walking behind a big old white lady and in one of those carts that she's driving because she's so big can't walk. You better recognize you're being used. I'm just saying. But I'm going back to this story. The story is of the woman. She knows that the man wants to be married. He wants to be married, but she don't want to be married. And half the time, when if you know you don't want to be married, you done made so many choices. I'm not being married again. I'm not doing it. I'm not dealing with it. I put up with this one ninja. I'm not putting up with another. Okay, but guess what? And I got to do that. And I hate to say it because I normally be mad when y'all do it. But y'all, you know what? Ladies, y'all ain't the easiest ones to get along with either. You got habits that get on my last freaking nerve either. But here's the thing about being with someone that you want to be with. The thing about being with someone that you want to spend the rest of your blinking life with. The thing about being with someone that you give a flip about. That you might step in front of a speeding car and push them out of the way to say, save yourself, live your life, or whatever. The thing about saying, I'll take a bullet for you means it's called give and take. And nine times out of the 10, with our situations, it's take, 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 and not give. Or if you want to give, it says, I could give a rat's ass. That's what you want to give. You see what I'm saying? But to this story, the lady was so convinced that this was going to work. And and the person she was asking on this TV show, he says, does he know? No, he don't know yet. I'm gonna say, yeah, let's get married, but you need to live somewhere else. And Urban has said, that's a boyfriend. That's a boyfriend. But see, some of us, see, I was in a horrible marriage for over 25 freaking years. Somewhere I lost count. Don't even want to remember. I wanted to know what a normal marriage is. I wanted to know what cohabitating with a woman a little bit less crazy than the idiot I was married to. I wanted to know what it felt like. And I remember when I told my wife now that when we were dating, he said, look, I'm looking to be married. I mean that. I'm looking to be married. I'm looking to cohabitate. I'm looking to learn. You know, from years of sleeping in the back of this this truck, of years of being alone and by myself for periods and long periods of time, I just wanted to lay in the same bed with someone that I would care that cared about me. You know, my first marriage. Let me tell you about like verbal abuse or emotional abuse. I would just reach over and touch her. She'd come out of a dead sleep. Get off me. Every time. Get off me.
You know what that does to a person, a man, to a psyche? And and we know on this channel how emotional I am. Do you believe I had no emotion for a good 20 years until I got away from her? My subconscious closed off that emotional door. And I totally forgot that I was a highly sensitive, highly emotional man. Do you see what I'm saying? I totally forgot that I didn't realize that that's what I was. And I remember, wait a minute. And then I had to go back and look. All those emotions were closed off to protect me, my subconscious. And I remember one day the door opened up, and boy, it was so painful. It was so freaking painful, so painful. And see, in the long run, I'm going to bring this up too. In my first marriage, I you know the Pepsi AC and all that stuff, I was eating like really bad. So I had acid reflux, didn't know what it was, but I knew that if I slept on with a lot of pillows, literally sitting up on the couch, um, on the couch, that I could sleep. But I was pushing 300 plus pounds, and you know that's where I would sleep at because this is what was going on. And for years I was doing that, and then I remember there's a few times I would try to go sleep in the bed, and my ex-wife would say, "Get out of here! What are you doing? Get out!" Do you see what I'm saying? You see, when you get together, and especially when especially in a marriage, there's a bond that you have with each other. And this is what I figured out. There's a bond that you have with each other. There's no freaking bond if I'm over at your house. We've got the wedding rings on, and I say, "Well, good night. I'm heading out," and you drive 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes away to go to your house. I'll be like, "Pfft, man, that's not being married. That's not saying that you care about this person. That's not. I don't know what the heck that is." But see, our sisters be coming up with crap like this, and then we have the excuse of uh, not wanting to sleep in the same bed. That's a good one. Oh, like he snores. Well, why don't you find out if someone snores? There's something wrong with that. Half the time, if someone's snoring, that son of a bitch needs a CPAP machine. I'm sorry, he needs a CPAP machine. Half the time, that fat and that whatever that's hovering around that man's chest is pushing down on him and is making that little flap in the back of his mouth because he's trying to breathe. Well, guess what? My first wife did just snore too. I'd have to tap her and say, "Hey, wake up, you're snoring. Turn around and sleep on your stomach." That's what you deal with, and then go back to sleep. Stop making excuses and learn how to deal with it. If you say "I do," for richer or for poor, for sickness and health, till death do you part, why don't you fucking act like it? If you don't want to do that, if you don't want to sleep in the same bed, if you don't want to live in the same house, then you don't want to be married. Look, I got hit with some stuff that I know I didn't do, but I want to be with this person. I want to spend the rest of my life with this person. So I bent over backwards and made sure and showed love and showed appreciation and showed the things and learned. I learned a valuable lesson. With this person, I got to do this, and this. So don't be embarrassed if you meet me in public. Please say Mr. Whatever or Mr. I learned. You got to learn the person that you're with. There is concessions. There are concessions. If you want to live by yourself, then stay by your damn self. If you want to be by yourself, if you know that you're so anal about the clothes being on the floor or whatever, but guess what? My first marriage, I could, my clothes, we only had one dresser. All my stuff was put on the floor in the corner. I'm used to my shit being on the floor. I thought that was normal. I'm remarried now. I literally teared up and was geeking out and crying and wiping down and whatever. And I spent like 2 hours on a dresser that I bought for myself. You know, this was my life. My wife paints flowers. That's her. A side thing. I seen few like look. I put them on the wall above my dresser. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not about. It's not about. It's not always about you. If you don't know the whole story, why aren't you trying to learn the story? Why didn't you try to understand? It's about concessions. It's about sitting back and understanding this person. We need to stop being so selfish and start learning how to live together. Start learning how to be together. Start learning how to understand each other. Half the time we yell and scream at each other and we're always responding because I have to be right. You have to be right. We have to be right instead of listening to understand. It's so funny. Excuse me, hold on. It's funny. I always got a upchuck or something every time I'm on doing a live. It's funny how we're always if you're always looking for something to complain about your partner, your friend, that's an underlying problem. Is telling you something. That's not the one for you. You know what I'm saying? That's not the person that's for you. Like, oh well, we've been together, and it's still not the person for you. If everything, in certain situations, in relationships have their ups and downs, but their downs should not be down for freaking ever. Should not be down for forever. You got to learn how to get up and bring it back up. It was so funny. My first marriage, it eventually became a sexless marriage. I'm not talking for a couple of weeks or months. I'm talking for years. For years. And through that, I still was faithful, trying to do the right thing. So when I finally decide enough's enough, I'm going to be happy, you know. And then it was, well, you this and you that, and no, leave me alone. I'm done, you know. And all I ever wanted, one of the main things I've ever wanted, it was like a bucket list. I wanted to lay in my bed and reach over and make sure that the person I cared for was there. Are you okay? I wanted to feel your breath. I wanted to know that you were breathing. I remember it was so funny. The alarm went off one time, and I was woke out of dead sleep, and that alarm was loud. I like, I woke up, and I'm like, what do we do? What do we do? And it's so funny. She said, I don't know. You the man. You do something, protect or whatever. Now, granted, I don't broadcast what I got, but I got an arsenal in that bedroom. I didn't even think of to grab that arsenal. Thank God I didn't, because what it was one of the pieces of wood in the fireplace. It was embers, and it fell over, and the motion detector sensed it and turned the alarm on. So, we have to think about these things, whatever. But we laughed about it, and I said, damn, I'm trying to be a protector, and I'm a punk ass, whatever, we laughed and laughed. It was freaking hilarious. But I never, even in any argument, I never said that I didn't want to be with you. I didn't want to be with this person. The stuff that irks me, you know, hey, we get to the point, hey, can you take the garbage out or whatever? Oh, okay. But you want it done right then and there. I'm thinking, okay, next time I get up, I'll go get it. Instead of saying, can you take it out now? Instead of having communications, look, I'm sorry, I've been by myself for so long. I have to get used to you. And until then, these are my quirks. I like this way. Do you see what I'm saying? Until we get used to it. I like to feed my chickens at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I get up to feed my chickens. I get up at 8 o'clock and work out in the basement. So you're gonna hear some music. Do you see what I'm saying? I do this. I'm on YouTube. I'm not searching for someone else. I'm just listening in to podcasts or talking to people. I'm being friendly. Are you is that okay? Will that bother you? You know, it's called communication. We have to learn how to communicate, and we don't. We don't communicate, and then that brings on other painful stuff. It brings on other things. I don't know if I'm ready to have someone back into my house, because that's how that's another thing. Oh, come move in with me. As soon as you have an argument, get out, because my name is on the lease. It's my house. Get out. You tell me to get out, I'm never coming back. You're not gonna use that on me. I watch these Reddit stories. Get out. It's my put. I it, you know one of our friends that are on that this son is staying in one of his houses and paying rent or paying the mortgage, and the girlfriend is so used to one being on the lease. So when the argument happens, she's so quick to say, "Get out." That's that ghetto response. Because I have something over you, a thumb over you. Do you see what I'm saying? We want to have authority over us, and a lot of times women think that I got him under my thumb. I'm running him. No, I just don't want. I don't want to be bothered. I want peace. So I'll let you get away with it. But there's a limit to my patience. I just have a lot of it. I just have a lot of it. And again, guys, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not going through nothing. I get my wife coming in. She think I'm like, yo, you mad at this or whatever. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm bringing up stuff that happened to me in the past. I'm a reminder of it. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just talking about stuff to have the conversation. I gotta make sure I keep saying it to have this conversation. I'm reminded of stuff for bringing up stuff that other people don't want to say or is afraid to say. But this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm trying not to be boring. I love Man, I'm gonna go check that live again. That mess is funny. Hey, guys, I forgot to say it. Coming up next is Wellness with Frugal Mama. They gotta hit that beat. But we gotta find our own place. You gotta find what's gonna make you happy. So I run back to what I originally was one of the first stuff I was talking about making this guy's fence. It's gonna make me happy to see a smile on that old man's face. It's gonna make me happy to look and see one part of the fence fixed and the other, all the rest of it dilapidated. But it's gonna make me happy to know that I repaired a part of this man's fence. And then I'm going to work towards getting another part of it, and another part, and another part, and another part, and do the right thing and be nice about it. And say, hey, bro, I'm working on it. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna get it. Because in the end, I'm not. I'm just a nice person. I can't help who I am. I can't help who I've always been. I'm just a nice person. I just That's just who I am, and I'm gonna keep being. I'm gonna keep being me. That's why I do what I do. That's why I'm on YouTube. Um, it's got me, you know, it's got me getting up. It's got me setting my ways. It's got me doing stuff. It's got me, I'm showing you a part of my life and a part of being a nice, a nice guy, a guy that does things, a guy that goes through stuff. It's funny. I was out of work for 5 days, and with all the benefits that I have at this company and all the stuff that I do, I thought my check was going to be real low. My check was just enough. It was just right to make sure the bills got paid. That's what happens when you trust in God and you trust in yourself and you just don't worry. Don't worry, be happy, and keep moving forward. We got to keep moving forward, but don't short step yourself. you know, and stop thinking that you're all that. Because even, you know, even Jesus said, you know, the people that follow Jesus, the 12 apostles, I'm a wretch undone. I don't deserve the walk the same path. You know, when you learn to be humble and when you learn to be, you know, understanding, more blessings come your way. Guys, I thank y'all for coming in this morning. Thank as usual. Thank you for being part of my rant. Um, you're well appreciated. Thank you for coming in on the replay. Uh, you know, just it was said a while back. Look, I'm stop jumping all over the place and be moving. You're gonna see smiling faces in the comments on specific spots that people have been nice enough to support and be a part of my growth or my walk with this YouTube. And I thank y'all for coming in today. Check out Wellness with Fukumama next. I can't work out today. I got to get down the road. I'm thinking about you in my mind. I put in 17,000 steps yesterday when I returned the car because I had to walk back to the yard, and I I thought I lost my wallet. I left my wallet in a spot I always put when I'm getting in the truck, and I didn't take my wallet, so I'm freaking out, and I'm trying to run back to the truck, so I'm walking and running, and how about wore myself out. But see you guys Monday. I might have a pop up this weekend, who knows? But it's definitely gonna be Monday. Thanks for being a blessing to me. Be a blessing to someone else, guys. And as always, if you don't think nobody loves you, know that I love you and God loves you too. Have a blessed weekend. God bless and peace out.